Welcome to Hidcote. Hidcote was bought in 1907 by Lawrence Johnson and his mother. From then, Lawrence Johnson created a masterpiece of a garden, as you'll see today. It's inspired by the arts and crafts movement, and the White Garden is a good example of that. All of the hedging around us is clipped very tight, formal, and then the actual plantings are quite informal. So it's the White Garden, so a lot of the plants have white flowers, but within that, apart from the sort of height of the borders, it's very much an informal style of planting. Just looking around further, perhaps more of a Lawrence Johnson part of the design is the big cedar of Lebanon, which he designed so that it was in view of the garden, but not directly along the parallel that you can see looking up to it. And the same is from the central axis. Lawrence Johnson designed the view just to the side of the cedar, so it didn't run to the cedar, it ran just to the side. The central axis is probably the most iconic view of Hidcote. We're now in the Lilac Circle, which is surrounded by the tapestry hedging, which was one of Lawrence Johnson's signature features of the garden. You can just see here the holly, which is growing into the copper beech. When Lawrence Johnson planted it, he planted individual, the holly and the beech, and they've grown together to make the effect that you can see. I'm now outside the plant shelter. The plant shelter was built by Lawrence Johnson to house his tender and tropical plants, some of which he'd collected himself from the wild. We've opened some of the area for visitors this summer, but most of it hasn't been able to be open. So we'll go and have a look. The plant shelter is full of tender plants, some of which are more exotic than others. One of my favourites is the tibouchina, which is full of purple flowers at this time of year. There are a number of plants that flower throughout the year in the plant shelter, one of which at the moment is the cestrum, which is a lovely, really cerise pink flower. There's the cestrum, and there's also ginger lilies, which is the Hidcote, which are flowering now and actually are off scene, so most people can't see them, but they are looking stunning. They've kind of grown up through things like the clethra, which is the lily of the valley tree, so you can just see them in the background from here. We're now in the glass house, which is not open to visitors, so I thought I'd show you what we're up to. There's a whole range of plants in here, some that we're bringing on for the plant shelter and others that we're propagating ready for next season. So if you look in here, this is some of the cuttings that we've got going on. Things like Salvia Royal Bumble, we've got Cosmos, the chocolate one, and then other salvias as well as our chrysanthemums at the back. It's a process that we start early on in the season and bring on as we can, to then bring them into small plants and bring them over the winter so they're ready for potting up and planting out next year. Thanks for joining me on the tour around Hidcote, and thank you for your support as we continue to reopen our places.